Welcome to Spotlight TV. I am your host, Emily Zubi. And this next rock star that we're going to have on, not only does she know on air luxury and has curated so many different types of luxury events, her middle name might as well be luxury. I know her over a decade, and I will never first day that I met her because I actually wanted to network with her and was kind of stalking her at an event, but all those truths will come out today. I want us to welcome Romina Nabhen, who is the founder and CEO of RCN Curated Luxury. Welcome to Spotlight TV. I am so happy to have you here. I mean, we know each other so long, and this is a dream come true.
Well, thank you. That was quite the introduction. Yes, we've known each other for a while, and I highly respect you as well. I guess we felt the same way about each other, and we didn't know. So that's very interesting.
I know. It was, I'll never forget, it was a luxury real estate event. And you look stunning, and you were like a fashionista, and I was like, I want to get to know her. I mean, your elegance, your style, your grace, the way you were networking. I mean, before you even talk to someone, you say, wow, just the way you walked across the room, I'm like, hi. Next thing you know, I'm sitting next to you.
That is so kind. And you know what? They say don't judge a book by its cover, but presentation is important, isn't it?
It is. Absolutely. Well, today is all about you. This is about your story, about your comebacks, your setbacks, your, turning pain into purpose, and all about you. So let's start with your story.
I want to start with turning pain into purpose, because this comeback, I feel like I reinvent myself all the time, and turning pain into purpose is what has catapulted me, gotten me out of bed, out of, bouts of depression and the highs and lows of life. The reinvention aspect of what we as women have to go through. That's why I'm here today. I recently lost my Instagram. And to many, it may not mean much, but to a person who's been public, to lose your whole career and have to start from zero, I literally spent a month in bed saying, what am I going to do? How am I going to reinvent myself now? How am I going to reach out to my customers? How are they going to know I'm there? How are they going to know what I'm doing? So one day I said, pick yourself back up, start another Instagram. This ended up happening to me 6 times. What? Every time I got stronger, and every time I just laughed and said, get up again.
Are there things you can do, like, or any of those insurance that they offer for social media? Any of that?
No.
No?
No. I was paying the Meta Verified. I think I hate to say that this hacking might be a personal attack, but it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to take me down. I have my website now. I went old school. I wrote everything down, phone numbers, emails, addresses and created an Excel spreadsheet, and I have everything on my phone. So whoever it is that has tried to do that, you're not going to take me down. It's never going to happen. I will always rise up. So yeah, it's everybody back up your information. Don't rely on one portal. Don't rely on just the Instagram.
That's great advice. Yeah. And also too, and I know several influencers that, they're like, listen, at the end of the day, it may be your content per se on Instagram, but it's not really yours, it's theirs. So anything, to invest on putting all of that on your own website, content is king, but making sure that you have copies and you have all of that and data, all that, everything you're saying is nowadays just, important business protocol.
But, coming from a media background, and, I've been in the industry for almost 25 years, there was no Instagram, there was no Twitter. It was the old school way of marketing. And if you go back to the grassroots, it's really the best, because a lot of these younger generations, they rely on this social media. But what if one day you don't have it? You're still you. You're still a business person. You've got to find a way. And I think that's where the age bracket has something to do with it, and also the experience, where maybe somebody younger this would have ended their career. But for me, I said, what can I do? What do I need to do? Save yourself, because nobody's going to come up and knock on your door and pick you up. That's the truth. And that's what I did. So that's what I would say to anybody younger. Don't wait for anybody to come save you. Save yourself, and the opportunities and the doors will open.
And that attitude, one of my favorite quotes, and I've said this before on the show, is, attitude is the difference between an adventure and an ordeal. How you look at it, you embrace the pain and turn it into purpose, and just say, okay, this is how I'm going to do it differently. This is how I'm going to do it better. But keeping that attitude, that positive attitude, and that perseverance, resilience, key factors of success.
Well, yes, and kudos to you, because I know that you've gone through your adversities and done the same. And another thing, I went through a divorce. I was married. I'm not going to get into that, but I was married for 22 years. It's a long time, and my identity was part of another person's identity. So then I once that happened, I said, well, who am I? So this whole reinvention, and as women, through the stages of life, you will have to reinvent yourself many times. Some because they become mothers and are out of the workforce for years and they need to go back into it. And I would just say, don't be afraid. There is no right or wrong. There is no one way to do things, and there is no one road to get there.
I love it. And also too, having a learning, an attitude of learning. I mean, I'm always learning, and I have embraced technology. And we had our CEO Circle lunchtime lab yesterday, and a couple of the women are like, teach us how you do these reels and what apps you buy and all this stuff. And I mean, I have to tell you, it was painful at first to learn some of these apps, but I said, I just need to do that, and no one knows my brand better than me. And I just applied myself. But it's the same thing. It's that learning, and you're pretty tech savvy.
I'm not actually that tech savvy compared to the younger generations, but yes, I do most everything myself. You said something key. Nobody knows your brand more than you do, and they don't. And I am a personal brand, and so are you. Beyond the companies that I've worked for, beyond the business I have, I am my own personal brand, and I think that's key as well, because companies can change, people get hired and fired, but you are not going anywhere. Well, we're born and then we go, but this in between time, it's you. You're Emily Zubi. I'm Romina Nabhen, and that's not going to change. Not even with a marriage, because I kept my last name. That is a very smart thing I did.
Well, I've had a couple names, so that's a story for another day. But let's talk about some of these big brands, because you have worked with some incredible Fortune 500 brands, some big names, and industry leaders. So let's talk about your experience.
Well, I've worked, one of my favorites is Saks Fifth Avenue. I was fashion and Fifth Avenue Club director, and then I was fashion PR and marketing director, and I worked for them twice. So in between, I moved to Atlanta and I worked with CNN. So I've had kind of a parallel corporate fashion career and television career. It's happened. The TV happened. I didn't look for it. It's not one of those things where I studied broadcast journalism and said, oh, I want to be on camera. I was a fashion, beauty, lifestyle expert in my field, and I had opportunities on TV, and then that started happening, and then I started getting press, and it was fashion, beauty, lifestyle expert, Romina Nabhen. And that's how everything started. I worked also for Fendi Casa, Condé Nast, Vogue Glamour, and all the Latin titles. So I have a lot of experience within the stratosphere of what is luxury, but in different corporate companies. And then I used all of this experience to then go on my own and open my own business, which is something I've always wanted to do.
Talk about some of the services you offer, because sure. I don't think that there are a lot of women out there like you. I don't think there's anyone out there like you. You are your unique brand. But let's talk about some of those businesses, because especially given this opportunity, I want the world to know, that they should think of you when.
So there are two things that I have a company. It's called RCN Curated Luxury. Romina Christina Nabhen, my initials. And I started this company because I said to myself, I have all these talents. What am I going to do with them? So I have two parts, two key components to my company. The luxury industry component, which is business development, and I service different clients. For example, without sharing names, I have one client, they're interior designers, and they're doing a whole rebranding. I'm helping them with their advertising, where to place advertising dollars, marketing, media training, anything that they need to go to the next level and in their best light, presenting themselves and their company in their best light. And then the other thing that I do is I'm a luxury consultant and concierge for fine jewelry. And I wanted to be a jewelry designer, and that didn't happen. So I have a passion for jewelry, and I love curating pieces for people. That is a very hush-hush side of my of what I do, because I go to people's homes, businesses. I will travel with a piece if necessary. I get them the right piece for the right price. So things that you would find in industry leaders like Saks Neiman's, Mayors, I would get for a great price. So high quality, great price, and it's a pleasure. I don't sell jewelry. I really do curate it. I give people what they want. So
it's wonderful. And I'm admiring the pieces you have on. You're shining brightly here under the studio.
Wearing some of my favorite rings, yes.
Under the studio lights. Let's talk about luxury. So we are headed to the boat show with our client, FYI Yachts. And you are joining as a luxury correspondent, lifestyle correspondent.
For Spotlight TV.
For Spotlight TV. And we're really excited and honored to have you do some of the coverage, because obviously I can't be everywhere, but, I love the fact that you will do that. You
can't clone yourself. Not yet. We haven't figured out how to clone Emily.
So let's talk about some of those exciting places and people or segments that, you're planning.
Well, I love interviewing people. I love learning about people, especially under my, fashion, beauty, lifestyle umbrella. So the boat show is going to be terrific. And then we're going to do a lot of other fun stuff that we don't want to disclose yet. But there's going to be different series of interviews that we're going to do throughout the city within philanthropy, fashion. So it's going to be really fun, really interesting. And the boat show is going to be one of our first adventures. And
we're going to new heights because we're also working with a private jet client. So there's a lot of exciting stuff that's going to be happening. But you are in our book of leaders. So we've been talking, we've had a lot of, we alternate weeks and have some of the leaders that are in our coffee table book of Rockstar Leaders. Mm-hmm. We just did your photo shoot. It was super.
Amazing.
It was wonderful. We're going to show the video behind the scenes getting ready because I've been having so much fun on all these different photo shoots, but this one, I'm going to say two things. One is because of the relationship, what I love about you, Romina, I love so many things, but in particular, you, like me, really value relationships.
I do.
And I know I've done my job when I can go to a relationship, and I do have my airline relationships from 30 years ago, and be able to ask either A, for collaborations, favors when you need to, and you were able to, tap into Saks, and it was an incredible behind the scenes. Talk a little bit about the process.
Okay, so I have a love and a loyalty to Saks Fifth Avenue Dadeland because that's where I worked out of. Saks, has their corporate hub in New York, and then they place their executives in different teams, and I was out of the Dadeland location. So I just called my contact there, my dear Samantha Farini, and she's amazing. And I said, I want to do my photo shoot there. And they have to go through the approval process, and I got approved. So I did the photo shoot for Book of Leaders there, and it was absolutely beautiful. We did it in the shoe department in the Fifth Avenue Club, which is like a private shopping service. And I don't know, sometimes it's surreal because I remember being young, being in my early 20s, working there, and now I'm going to be in a book and I get to do a photo shoot from such an amazing establishment. So yeah, it's interesting, it's fun. And about the contacts, of course, it's many years and it's loyalty. And I think when you have loyalty towards people, people are going to be loyal towards you throughout the ages and stages of your life. And that's what has happened. And it seems like, oh, I just picked up the phone, but it's years years of cultivating these relationships at you as well, where we can pick up the phone and get these type of responses.
Yeah, I want to make sure. Did we show the video already? So, I mean, great footage, and the footage that we have here. I mean,
Fun footage, yes.
Fun footage. You know, between we're playing it now. So we walked in, and we're in this private Saks area. You know, the club for private shopping, and everything. All the outfits. I mean, were beautiful,
Yes.
and we just got to have fun. But talk a little bit about the experience, because, well, first off, this red suit, go red all day.
Well, I think red is such a powerful color, and I wanted this book to be, you know, well, my inclusion to be timeless. So red is timeless, powerful, it's vibrant, and I think that I am a happy person. So for me, red, anytime I wear bright colors, I feel happy, and I want to project joy. I think that's the most important thing you can project. So for me, it was fun. The whole behind the scenes process of getting ready for this, choosing the clothes, the accessories, all of that is even more fun for me than being in front of the camera.
Well, it's funny because we shot in the shoe department at Saks.
Yes.
And a big shout out to Samantha and to Juan and to everyone that helped us with that. And
team.
Dimitri Zhitov, an incredible celebrity.
Most handsome photographer too.
We don't want that to get to his head, but I mean, it has been really amazing, and everyone was wonderful. And we were in the shoe department, and I was just absolutely in heaven. We had done our anniversary, our Miami Woman Who Rock anniversary in a shoe department. Actually, we were at Neiman Marcus, but anyhow, I love them both. And our anniversary shot was, so, you know, the whole idea of, you know, pink carpet, walking her shoes and getting ready.
Mm-hmm.
We're 2 weeks away from our big event.
Wow, yes.
So, you know, give a woman the right pair of shoes and she can walk the distance, rule the world, rock the distance, whatever the case is. But, you know, thank you so much for setting that up and for, you know, being just such a personable, loving, caring, you know, how you treat people to me is your calling card. And, you know, my father always said, you know, he said in Spanish, but he goes, Nena, you know, one day they're picking up your garbage. The next day you're picking up theirs. And you never know what life is going to hand you, but treat everyone with love and respect. And from the moment you walk in the door of who is it, the security guard or whoever it is, you know, I was on NBC, you know, a couple of weeks ago, and I brought gifts for the receptionist, for the security guard. And he looked at me and he goes, why are you giving me a gift? Like, nobody gives me a gift. I'm like, listen, you know, that's exactly why I'm bringing you a gift.
In my opinion, those are the most important people. I started at the bottom. I've been the assistant. I've, you know, worked places where I've had to clean shelves. I mean, I've had to do everything from the bottom. So I have huge respect. They are the people behind the people. Without them, we are nothing. We can do nothing. And once people learn that and understand that, they will treat people a lot better. I always say, if you want, when, you know, let's say you go on a date or with a new girlfriend or group of people that you don't know, and you go to a lunch, watch out how they speak to the servers and the staff. It's like, that is so telling of who they are as human beings.
That's been a deal breaker.
And if they're not good, get them out.
Deal, but you know, not nice to the absolutely. Yes. It's such a testament to character. Let's talk about some of the things that you have in line. Like, you know, we're sitting here 10 years from now. Tell me, what's transpired in your life?
10 years from now, again, the most important thing to me is joy. If I don't like what I'm doing, it's not making me happy, and I'm not helping others in some type of way, then I need to reroute. So I do check-ins. Every couple of months, I check in and I say, do you feel good? Are you happy? What are you doing for others? Because if it's all about me, then it gets boring. I think when we're younger, we think like, oh, well, what do all these accomplishments, and we check off the list. But now it's more about, well, what difference am I making in the world? And my difference could be different to what you, or how you impact people. For example, I like making people feel good about themselves, especially women. And it may sound frivolous to some, but the image part of making somebody feel good going shopping with them, putting together an outfit, helping them put themselves in the best light. For me, that's priceless. So what do I want to do in 10 years? I don't know. I just hope I'm happy when I get there. It's about the journey, not the destination. So whatever I do in the meantime, helping people, bringing joy to myself. The moment I don't feel joy, again, I need to check in and reroute. So that's the most important thing. Do I have this big goal of where I need to be in 10 years? No, I don't. I just want to do things that make me happy.
Well, let's talk about giving back, because you certainly do a lot and you have great ideas. Problem solver, like, okay, well, how about we do this? So last year I came to you when we were doing not a fashion show. It was really a show with some fashion, because we didn't have the budget for a fashion show. And we said, okay, we're going to turn to our young professional philanthropists and have them in the show where they're, we had the stylist. Anyhow, you helped me tremendously, and it was amazing. This year we're stepping it up, and we actually are working with Yaz Gonzalez.
Oh, she's amazing.
And you have been a luxury consultant, to us, and helped us on so many levels. On a charitable level, I'm working with the charity. We 305 Pink Pack's our charity this year. Mm-hmm. So talk about some of the things that you see for this year and for the fashion show, because I'll be honest with you. I mean, it's a big undertaking. Yes. And we have a lot going on, and we're 2 weeks out.
I love putting together fashion shows. That's one thing I've done throughout my career, the styling aspect and the behind the scenes. So this fashion show is going to be amazing, because Yaz is a fantastic designer. She is super, super innovative, as you know. And this year it's going to be something special. She's creating designs for a capsule collection. So everything from the lighting to the aesthetics, it's every little piece counts, especially when you're doing a fashion show. There's so much. I don't know if people know. I don't know if you guys know how much goes into a fashion show, from hair and makeup to every outfit, to the shoes, to the choreography, music, every little bit. So it's going to be really exciting. You guys are going to love it.
It's going to be great. And we have so many things. So every year with 50 Shades of Pink, so last year we went to Paris. It was Emily in Paris. And the year before that, it was a London cafe, like London garden, English garden theme. I mean, after COVID, we started developing like the theme. And this year it's La Dolce Vita.
La Dolce Vita.
La Dolce Vita. So, we have an incredible Michelle Reese, Grandeur Events is our event planner, and we have Gilded Age Decor Group. Yes. Thanks to Gertie Abrera, our Pink Warrior. It is really a collaborative effort in terms of getting all these people to, who do you know, what
who do you know? Right? We need flowers.
We've got our event chair, Adriana Verdeja. We have our honorary chair, Trish Bell. I mean, it takes a village to paint this town pink, and I say that every year. And then every year, like right beforehand, I'm like, why do I do this? I mean, and then luckily, I get the help, from this committee and people like you that say, like, what can I do, and are help make those calls. And we're still looking for a wine sponsor. So,
Well, that's the thing. What you said. We've all been in the industry so long that everybody knows someone that knows someone. And that's how we pull these type of events together. That's what, again, people don't know everything that goes into it. This is planned a year ahead, then 6 months, then you go 3 months. This is not last minute. So that's why when people come and they sit down, they have this fantastic experience. And this year is going to be, La Dolce Vita. How sexy and gorgeous is that?
That's right. And the pink carpet,
and
right?
The pink carpet.
So talk about the charities. What are some of your personal favorites, and some of the charitable organizations that you've worked with in the past, or that, are your go-to soft spot?
Mm-hmm. His House for Abandoned and Abused Children. That's a really tough one, because I would go in person, and a lot of these kids are sexually abused, and they all... I get teary-eyed. They all go up to you and say, oh, can you be my mom or my dad? Or they all want to be adopted. So that organization is fantastic, but it's very tough if you're going to be hands-on. I also was involved when I was living in Atlanta in Ronald McDonald House, and then the Special Olympics, shopping Olympics, of course, because that's, my fashion background, but Special Olympics is also dear to
I
my
didn't
heart.
know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Uh-huh. And then Nicholas Foundation. I was involved in Wine, Women, and Shoes for many years as well. And what I like doing really more than being involved in philanthropy and, grabbing the check and showing, I like to be hands-on and I like to work with people individually. There are a few people that I work with individually where they need to, they lost everything. Women that went through a divorce, separation or divorce, lost everything. And I get them anything from a pair of shoes, handbag, help them present themselves when they're going to go look for a job or an interview. And that's something a lot of people don't know because I'm not going to be disclosing, who I'm helping. And sometimes you just have to be quiet and work in silence and
get
stuff done.
Absolutely. I mean, my mother-in-law, Zubi, Zareta was a legend and just one of those. And she always used to say that it's what you do when no one's looking and how you give silently without credit and, not about the photo op or any of those things. And I'll never forget, we did a close we gathered clothes and people like Marile and all these people donated these beautiful clothes. And we did, we had 4 charities. So we did kind of like a little like sale, and whatever we didn't sell, we went and took to Lotus House on Christmas Eve. I dropped it off myself at 6 a.m. I'm an early riser. And I will tell you that it was one of the coldest days of the year. And when I'm going in, I see a mother with 3 kids, 2 in tow, a black guy, and her little daughter's like, are we going to Disney? Is this Disney, Mom? Because they saw the pink and the whatever the lotus flower. And, here we donate probably 20,000 worth of clothes. And to know that those women, I mean, I don't know, for, like you said, I mean, there are so many, whether it's homelessness or abuse or there's so many incredible charities here in Miami and around the world.
Absolutely. And sometimes, I just want people to know you don't necessarily have to get involved with a charity. If you know somebody in your community, in your neighborhood, I don't know, your neighbor's sister, daughter, brother, father, that needs something, help them. Because if each person just helps somebody, then we wouldn't even need these big charities because people would just be helping each other. I think that the recognition part you were talking about, I don't need that recognition. I don't care to be recognized. And, I care to at least know in my heart that I'm helping somebody.
Making a difference.
Yeah, that's what I care about.
We have a couple minutes left. Okay. This is the time for your 60-second commercial, so how to reach you, what you offer, and how someone can work with Romina tomorrow.
So again, my name is Romina Nabhen. I own and I'm the founder of RCN Curated Luxury Industry Consulting, and then I'm also a fine jewelry curator. How you can find me is on Instagram at Romina_Nabhen, and then I have my website, rcncuratedluxury.org.
Thank you. Beautiful commercial. You see, you've done this before. You've done this before. That's really great. Well, I'm so excited. We have so many things coming up in the next. We're going to be pretty much like joined at the hip for the next couple of weeks. So
we've been joined at the hip. Okay,
we have, and many. I mean, what's wonderful is in many ways over the last decade is for me to have seen you always grow. And yet be consistently a good person.
Thank you.
Like someone, I mean, we've touched base a couple of times, like, let's grab a cup of coffee and we check in. And, I'm so excited for your brand and for the comeback on many levels. And, honored to have you in the Book of Leaders. Thank you for coming in today. And you are a rock star. So we will see you next week on Spotlight TV as we count down to 50 Shades of Pink. Join us on the pink carpet November 8th. We are so grateful to community newspapers. Michael, Grant, you are rock stars. The whole team here, Alex, Rochelle, we are so grateful. They do an incredible job producing our Spotlight TV every single week. See you on